Well, it's Phenom Gaming here, and we are back with Oddworld New and Tasty. This is part 2 of my playthrough. We're starting right where we left off at the mosaic lines last time round, and this is where the native Mudokons live. And there's more mutant, there's a more native approach, although still no idea where these falling boulders ever came from. This is where you've got to start interacting with the Mudokons to be able to get past. So this is using the secondary function of the game speak mechanic, and he just gets back on with his own business once you've mimicked him. Teaches you how to do a few more of the gameplay bits around here, but I'll first just possess this slig and get them both killed. Going through this door, and yes, this just teaches you that you can roll while running, so just circle to do that, and there we go. Just tells you how to being able to run and jump in the wells at the same time is going to be very handy for later on in the game. As we progress along. So as you'll see, the natives are a bit like the chanting here will give Abe more health because of these birds. Oh, never mind. I'm a full health as it is, that should be fine. Because these people are a bit skeptic, so if I was just to try and run, then they will fire slingshots at me until I mimic for passage, which is fairly simple once you get a hang of it. And on this one, just to mimic the low notes and the high notes, because you use the direction pad to the D-pad to do the game speak. So the low notes are dedicated to the down button, the high notes are dedicated to the up button once you hold R2 in.
That'll do.
So it's a handy thing to remember if you forget which ones are which. And we've got another one to pass here. But yeah, the native Mudokons are a bit skeptical about Abe being around because Abe's had all his life inside the factory, so to these native Mudokons he is an outsider. But if you start saving more Mudokons, then they do sort of warm up to you a little bit. Right, down here there are a few other bits that become key parts of the quest. These Mudokons, we're going to be a bit harsh to them because bees, we don't like them, so we'll just use this other poor Mudokon as a distraction. Bell songs are going to be, what Abe's just learned there is a bell song. Bell songs are going to be a key part of the game as we reach the temples where the Paramites and the Scrabs live. And we'll just roll back up here. And a bit further up. Right, so as the instruction says, you just chant to possess the bells. Thankfully you don't have to move the bell itself, it does that automatically. Because trying to remember those particular songs off the top of my head isn't exactly the easiest task. We have another native Mudokon here with a slingshot, so we'll just have to mimic him once again for passage. There we go.
Okay, you can go.
Don't know why they feel the need to force themselves to far, but it was something that it's one of those things Oddworld does for its own unique brand of humour, and the other Mudokons all seem to like it, but at least Abe does. He thinks he's hilarious. So do a leap of faith there, and then got to just jump across here and into this door. And we're getting closer to the first of the native areas of the Paramites and the Scrabs. So we've got to go over here, and as you can see there's lots of sligs and mines that we can't really get past right now, so we have to do these areas. I'm going to hop into Paramonia and deal with the Paramites first.
I saw Paramonia, ancient and wild, where Paramites lived before I was a child. Jack up the window, you don't want to get shot. Hey, you don't want to get shot. There you go. But we rounded them up, ignored their cries. All right, we got to maybe get to take off early. We cut them all up for Paramite pies.
Yeah, so Abe's starting to see, now that he's out in the wild and into the native areas of Oddworld, just exactly, you know, the extent that Rupture Farms has had on the existence of all these native creatures. Don't think I need any more health, but that's what those birds do anyway. They grant Abe more health when you chant near them. Just getting a bit of a sneak on because, there we go, we have a sleeping friendo here. And a nice mine to set off in front of him, so let's just do that and then hop up quickly. I guess he didn't want to say hello to me. Right, got a few rocks here, let's just throw out and blow these mines up. Pull that lever, which gets us up here, and then once I pull this, it summons, don't know if it's just a friend, like a friendo or a pet of his, but this is Elum, or Elum, mule backwards, and he can jump extremely far and moves a lot quicker than Abe can, so it makes getting through these areas a lot more efficient. Let's hop onto Elum, and basically there's going to be a few areas like this where it's just basically just straight up running and jumping and trying to avoid getting shot by those sligs in the background. The other thing about it is that you do have to time the jumps quite precisely, otherwise you do end up inevitably meeting your doom. So let's see. Let's get him away. We'll mimic this one, so he'll pull the lever down for us. So
That's not it.
oh no, wait, I did it wrong. There we go. And then he'll just go back to his own brand of chanting. Right. Get him to wait here. There is a mine next to this slig. I just want to throw this over and blow him up. Oh, never mind. I thought the rocks carried on. I was clearly wrong. That is a lesson learned. Even after all these, so even after the amount of times I've played through this, I'm still even making the odd mistake here. So, right, let's try this again. There we go. Now,
Everyone,
nope.
follow me.
That's the button I want. Uh-oh. There's a rock there. I know Elm does, well, as you can tell, Elm isn't exactly a fan of bees. Neither am I, so that's why I'm keeping away from him while he's infested with them. Instead of deactivating that mine, we'll just outright blow it up. And then hopefully those birds will come back. It looks like I've got plenty of health, but can never be too sure. So I'm not quite sure how much damage those bees did. They're already on us for like less than a second. So. There we go. Jumping on to the next scene. Right, so we'll get away there while I do this part of the puzzle. Oh. Or fall down and die, whatever.
Wait here.
Right, so we'll get him away there. Then we've got to jump into here, possess this slig, and get this slig to sacrifice himself for the greater good. But not before shooting his brethren. Maybe we'll just punch down a hole. There we go. So if I just hop down here, and then we'll just get this lever pulled. And then we'll just wait for this elevator to... Well, that didn't go as far as I wanted it to. Should have thought about that, really.
Follow me.
Right, so this is another part where I think we've just got bees chasing after us now. So we've just got to pretty much just run for dear life and not have the bees sting us all up. Or we could do that. Falling down holes is possibly something you're going to see me do a lot in these parts if I don't time these jumps correctly enough. And let's go again. Oh, that can make it, and there we go. Just run past that slig quickly enough to not get shot. But yeah, the building with all the sticks in the background on that last scene, that's where we're ultimately going. That's the that's where all the Paramites live. This is just the outer area before we get there. There's a few more areas with landmines around, so just got to be careful where I'm stepping. Or jumping for that matter. And Abe is back again. Sorry for not saying too much, there's not really much else I can highlight at this point, as this segment, just like a few others, contain just a bit more of what we've been doing, over the past few minutes. There we go. Have to get away there, and then just got to be careful around these mines and bombs. Go. Just avoid those sligs in the background, and there's a few slogs I've got to run from. So let's just have a bit of outrun them quickly, and then I've just got to jump down here, pull a lever, and then we can advance on to the next part. Oh, never mind, I thought I could go down there.
Follow me.
Right, let's get him to follow us quickly, and away we go. I think this is just, yep, this is just another part where it's just a series of run and jumps. Like I said, there is a few of those to this, and not only this one, but to Scrabania a bit later on in the game as well. Right, so just need to follow us down here, and then it's not round here.
Wait.
Right, I need to get a password from this area. Just figuring out how we go about this. Nope. Do I jump down here? Nope, that's not it. Oh no, wait. There's a lever below us again. Forgot about that one. Right, so that just takes us to down there, so... Must be for this one. Ah, yes, here we go. Throw a rock to explode those. And then... pull this lever. And then with a bit of luck, we'll shoot right the way up here, and then... This is the first password stone. So we just have to remember the whistle passwords in the appropriate order to be able to get past the next bit. So.
Aye, password please.
Oh no, wait, never mind. I started that wrong.
Hey there.
Listen, give me the password.
Oh, never mind. There we go, I finally got it right.
Follow me.
Get you to follow us. And a bit further down as well.
Follow me.
That building in the background with all the high mounted, well, that building in the background, the really spiky one, that's where we're going, and we're nearly where the Paramites rest now. So we'll be saying goodbye to Elam in a moment. Just get this Slig to kill off his friends so that no harm comes to Abe or Elam as we go through the final obstacle. Alright, so we'll just hop on here and hopefully we can make this last jump properly. And this is the part where, for now, we say goodbye to Elam. Just possess this Slig quickly, get him to kill all his friends and that before they notice, so... oh yeah, there's another slog. So, that's all them dealt with, and now we can move into the main temple itself, rather than just the outer borders of it. Well, them Sligs didn't look like they had a particularly good time in here, trying to get more food for Rupture Farms. Right, so now we're in the Paramonian Temple. This is where all the Paramites live. As you can see, them all starting to creep down, but we've just got to do a few more tidbits and bobs first before... Oh. We've got to do a few more tidbits and bobs first before we get to the Paramites. This is just all about correct timing. Get the Slig to run after us because I want him away from this chance suppressor. And now I've got him away. Take over him and we'll take the slog with us as well. I'm just going to take him to kill the Slig at the very bottom of this area. It's not something... I mean, there are ways to kill him without the Slig, I just think it's a little more fun this way. There we go. Set the slog onto the Slig and blow the Slig up. And then we can get away to the main part of the temples. Those scary looking things, that's what we're going to be mainly encountering. Oh yeah, that level was just, you know, the other option to kill the Slig with, just by dropping an object from above. Now, in each of these doors, there's 6 of them in total here. You've got to light up what you call flintlocks. I'm going to go through this bottom right door first, just to take us through our first flintlock of the area. But in each door, you've got to activate a flintlock and also learn a bell whistle song to be able to pass each area, as the bell whistle songs will open the doors for each area. Hoping this area is simple enough to start off with. I'm not guaranteeing anything at this point, but there's the bells. Right, so I don't want that paramite following me, so I'll just put that there for now. And learn the bell whistle song here. Again, you don't have to put the bell whistle songs in like manually, it's done automatically, which is really handy. And I'm going to pull this to activate a lever, but run away from this at the same time. Jump onto here so I don't get crushed. And after that we just jump into this well. And from here we get access to where the flintlock is. So just activate that, and there is the flintlock lit up. Let's see, so where's the door? Oh, crikey. Maybe for the best that I did that on time. I forgot how many paramites came up. Yeah, so down even. That is a scary amount to see. And then, like I said, once the bell doors are done, so we'll give them that last piece of meat just as a little treat, and we'll go through the door. I didn't need to do that, but okay. And then each of the doors closes off, so then you don't have to go back into the same doors you've just done and repeat the flintlocks you activated earlier on. Right, this area is, in my opinion, one of the more difficult ones, but it's also got a secret area to get back into Rupture Farms to free some more mood Dockins, so I'm going to be doing that. Just run a little bit and watch all these get crushed. Yay! So we just roll under here, chat into this portal, nip into here, and hopefully should be able to do this fairly quickly, but I'm not guaranteeing anything. Right. Right, this is going to be a bit difficult. Okay, so I'll botch that up a little bit. Right, so that's all them rescued. Save this just in case I get myself ground up off the meat grinder, and we're away. That area sometimes can be a little bit more difficult, depending on how well you know the game, but that went quite well. Right, so I'll just pick up some more meat. Run across to here. See if I can lure him over in near there. Pick that last bit up. Okay, that didn't quite go how I wanted it to. That's alright, I'll go back and deal with them a bit later on. Let's get some more. Oh. Right. There we go, learn the bell song here. Flintlock's a bit further down. Just need to hope the Paramites don't eat in the meat, otherwise I'm pretty stuck. Right, so as you can see, they'll just follow you and hop along quite passively when you just like when there's only one of them. But it's when you get them in groups or get them cornered, that's when they attack. So they're usually very passive creatures. I'll just give them some meat. I'll get them attacked by bees. They don't like that too much either. I think the bees eventually kill them. Yep, the bees eventually kill them. And we'll just get that piece of meat back because it's going to be quite handy going into this area. So I'll throw that down there. Light that up. But it's when they usually get like that, when there's more of them in groups, that's when they attack. So with this, well, not just this particular area itself, but just with the Paramites in general, it's just about getting up to a height where they can't, like, once they're in groups, it's just about getting literally as far away and up from a height as quickly as possible. It's the same with Scrabs, but Scrabs don't usually play well. There we go. Now I'm over at this side. I don't need to kill this Paramite because with it not being cornered, it shouldn't have the need to attack me. It'll just be quite passive. So I'll give a bit of meat over anyway, just to give him a nice treat for not attacking me while I did my little bell song. And away we go to the next bit. So I'm just going to go through this door first. Right, this is where it gets a bit tricky. Right. There we go. I'll just do it like that. Get him out of the way so that he's not cornered enough to attack me. That one has the potential to be cornered, so until I get some meat, I can't really do much with the flute song, like with the flute song learning. Oh, yep. I know what I need to do. I need to copy this Moodok in here. I just completely went past him.
Hello.
So we'll just mimic him. Little bit, never mind, wrong bit. So what he'll give us is a special ability, like to blow up a load of mines, which is going to be very convenient going into the next area. And back up we go. So, as you can see, these rings of doom are quite powerful. They don't kill like any of the wildlife or any of the sligs or anything, but they're really handy just for getting past the mines, and we're going to need another one just for these next few. So thankfully, once you actually repeat the password, you don't need to repeat it again. He just continues to give you the ability, which is really convenient. So we'll activate the flintlock from here. Scroll on down. Throw that piece. Oh, yep. Throw that piece of meat there. Now that the Paramite's over at the other side, it won't need to corner me or attack me. So I'm just going to make my way up. They're well nearby. Unless I've gone past it. Yep, I have. I completely went past it. So just hop into here. And then run quickly because there's like another 5 paramites here. And thankfully we learned the bell song before this. See if I can loot. See if I can throw this and not get something wrong. No, they're not that daft. Right, so after that we'll just hop into the next door. This is going fairly well. Right, so I'm going to have to lure the slag. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, I botched that up a little bit. I just need to possess one slag to kill another wave. See on how difficulty just this moment alone would just be like many instant deaths. We'll blow him up, run this one off a cliff. Now these swinging boulders back and forth are a bit of a nightmare to deal with, as you've got to time everything very well, and not just that, but our friends the bats from earlier on come out to play as well. So I'm just going to do a quick save here, and there we go. Hopefully I didn't, because I think there's a slog over here, so hopefully I didn't wake him up in the process. But uh-oh. Throw rock, destroy those mines to destroy the slog, and then literally we'll just flintlock and the bell song are in the same area. It's a shorter area than most in the game and in these temples, but I'm gonna chant, hop in the bed. Nope. There was a bird there, but if I just do this, a few more of them should, a couple more of them should come back. Get me little bits more of health there. And once again, just gotta hope we get past these fairly successfully, because these boulders are instant death. We needed to save some of the rocks just to get past these mines with. And then that is that area. So after this I've only got 2 more areas to go in the... Oh, yep, bats fly out of there and surprise Abe. So after this area I've only got 2 more to go, and then we will be into the last part of the Paramonian temples. It's a lot, like, it's a lot shorter time span than I remember it being. But over here we'll just activate the flintlock, and this is where a lot of paramites come down, and this is where the chase starts. And this is where I'm possibly going to die quite a lot. So depending on how well I do this, so have to persevere with me. And if you don't like innocent blue alien creatures getting crushed, then this is going, like, getting killed, then this is going to possibly sorely disappoint people. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, battle song. There again, another mistake made there. But that's fine, you live and learn. Despite the fact that I've played this game numerous times and should have learned. There we go. Hop over here. And then window over here. Yep, that's a hab pack. Even if there's only one from that pack left, it will still attack you, despite usually when you're on one with a paramite, it usually becomes passive unless cornered. So that's just something got to be a bit vigilant over. But our new friendo here shouldn't really be looking to kill me. See if I can get him off there. There we go. I just need him to stay right there. And that seems a slight bit excessive, but such is life. You'll learn the bell song here, and then should hopefully be able to move on to the last area without him killing himself. Here we go.
Can't figure it out.
And here we go into the last door before I move on to the main part of, well, the last part of Paramonian Temples. And it's another sequence with boulders and bats. There we go. That's what I was after. Chant while I'm here just to get some birds to give us more health, because that bat chipped a few bits of the health off. And apparently I was in rage for the bells, but I haven't learned the bell song yet, so that is completely redundant to me at the moment. There we go, that's that bat killed. Right. I'm going to activate this mine for a very good reason. And I'm going to deactivate these mines just to make it a bit safer for us to jump back over onto them. I say, blowing myself up at the same time. There we go. And the reason I wanted to do that is because there's a slug here, which I want to get to run into a mine. Like that. And have a bit more of a climb. And then this is where I learn the bell song. The last bell song in the Paramonian area anyway. Just gotta time it really carefully with the boulders. Right, so let's get this bell song done. And then this next part, it's going to feature a lot of Abe running away from things. And those things being just multitudes of paramites, because there is never just going to be I don't think there's any one-to-ones with paramites on this, or if there does, it's in situations where it corners them very quickly and you need to think quick. So these little sequences at the end just basically test what you've learned within each particular area. Paramonian nests, as it calls this area. As an optional feature if you want to, so like we can, like with this and the Scrabania area, you can sort of go on a well in the background and basically scout out what each area is going to be like map wise, so you're able to sort of plan how you run. On the most part, so yeah, so this just shows you the foreground without taking any major risks, and just take any of these, but I'm going to just, there we go, so that's that. So let's just get cracking and just start running for dear life. sorry if I don't speak as much during these sequences, but just more so I can... Oh god, I've buggered myself here. Right, let's concede to death. Yep. This is literally just this, and as you'll see in the Scravanian part later on in the game, I might leave that for part 3. There was a lot of running and jumping. And just making sure you time things correctly. Again, I haven't done that. Let's just let these have dinner. Oh, never mind, I'll just run into a wall instead. So instead of trying to run like I'll just do that instead. And then very quickly get yourself out of this area. There's that one that was cornered, and he'll run after me anyway because more of his buddies are coming along. And we'll just continue to run. And we'll grab that bit of meat. Because it's just literally a case of jump and in the turn. Right, so then all there is left of this area is just to navigate this little area, and we're about to reach another cutscene where we meet a character that becomes a bit pivotal to Abe's story called Bigface. Who, as you see in a moment, will help Abe on his journey.
The big face said I'd learn much through my quest. This hand scar would help me for more dangers await. I would need its full power to complete my fate.
So that hand scar Abe's just got is the Paramonian scar, and it needs its partner in scar from the Scravanian region, like the Scravanian area, to be able to summon a hybrid god thing of Mudok Scrab and Paramite called Shrikle. And basically once Abe has this power, he'll be able to occasionally call upon it to help him through tougher areas, and to be able, and there we go, the Paramite path lit up, and then Mudok's chanting there just to remind us that we've done that area. But once we get Shrikle, it'll help us quite pivotally to take down Rupture Farms later on. But as of now, I think this is a good space just to leave off, and we'll continue on with Scravania in part 3. So thank anyone for tuning in, and this is me signing out. See you later.